Hey, it's Brent from the BuildRunKit back here to talk to you about the startup launch journey, which is a key piece of the BuildRunKit subscription. And it's really meant for founders and aspiring founders who want some help navigating the process of starting a business. I can tell you from my personal experience, just figuring out all the things I didn't know was a huge chore, and then actually trying to work through all of those things was just overwhelming. And so we're hoping to help with that a little bit. And I just want to give you a little start at seeing how it works. So let's start a new journey. We're here in the Build Run Kit dashboard. And so this first journey is the only one we've implemented so far, and it's the most important one, and it's a comprehensive end-to-end um, uh, startup launch journey. Let's do it without a brand, because we could use our existing brand, and that comes into play wherever you might need to be incorporating a logo or the company's voice and things like that during the process. So let's call this let's just call it starting a food truck. And this video would be really, really long if I went through all of it. So what I'm going to do here is just show you kind of how it's structured and how it works. So the the journey is in about 7 stages. So you can come back to it. We'll remember where you left off. You don't have to complete it all at once. If you do complete it all at once, it could take anywhere from, depending on how much you commit and how detailed you get, it could take anywhere from an hour to, 3 or 4 hours. Uh, and the hope is that we get through all of these stages and you come out to the end having a really good feeling that you've picked the right idea, that you know where to go next, that you have kind of some of the basics squared away for your business. And so each little stage starts with a video like this.
Welcome to
Where
your startup launch journey. I'm Arnold. This is your personal roadmap to turn an idea into a business. Step by
where Arnold tells us what the current stage is about. And so you see what it's about, what the benefit is, who it's for, how long it will usually take, and what you'll get out of this stage of the process. And so that's the orientation and the discovery change. The discovery stage is really about assessing the ideas that you have and sort of matching up your founder mentality with a business that might fit into that into what works for you. So there's some amount of skipping around. If you're already for sure what business you're going to do, then there are certain places where you are just going to be able to skip ahead because you've already done the work. Um, so when we go, for example, through the founder fit analysis, we kind of look at some of your qualities and we use a little bit of AI help here to generate an analysis of what your strengths and goals are and try to figure out what kind of business person you are. And then we go through an idea generation selection process, and that is to hone in on not only the product idea you might already have, but also just uh, trying to get an idea to move forward with. Um, then we are going to kind of try to sort out like give you some help and assistance with what you should name the business, and also where that fits in the North American standard. I can't remember what NAICS code stands for, like the business code for or the industry that you're in, and that comes in handy later when we try to do some market research. And then we just do a little early check to see, kind of give some feedback about what this business looks like and what the market signals are for it. And we get our results, and that all of these results will also pile up and be available in the final package that we export. And so let's go to the market research stage now. And in the market research stage, we really help you figure out what your market is. And is that business to business? Is it business to customer? What are the ideal personas? And don't worry, you don't have to know, because we're going to help you figure that out using some of the information that you entered before. And part of this process is actually going to be to generate some artifacts like all right, so Burger Flipper might not be your ideal customer, but this is just to give you an idea. This is a slide that we generated from one of these launch journeys, and we tell you who this person is and what their motivations and pain points are, and we get into some more detail about that. And so this is all coming up to, at some point we're going to have enough information, and I'm not going to lie and say it's available now, but the idea is at some point we can create a whole entire investor presentation for you so that when you're ready to go look for funding, you'll have a leg up and some of the work already done to pull that presentation together. So what else is important to we've done a lot of pre-work for hundreds of major sectors and industries that we think most of our customers are going to fall into to gather some market information for you, and that's what you're going to get in this piece. We're going to give you some competitive analysis, and at strategic points along the way here, we involve AI. This is not an AI tool, but we do pull in a little bit of information from AI in certain places, and I think competitive analysis is one of those places. We also try to help you figure out what your moat is, like what is a differentiator that's going to make you, if you're selling shrimp from the back of a truck, how are you doing that in a better way than anybody else, and why are people going to remember you, and what's kind of your undeniable difference? And then we get on to brand foundations, and this is just a really simple um, creation of some consistency around your brand, the colors, what's the voice of your business. Maybe you need some help generating a logo. And then also, when you get this done and we help you select a color palette and all of that, you're going to save that, and that's going to go over here in your brands for future use. And then once we get to the admin and operations stage, a lot of this is guidance, and there are some specifics that we help you with. Like, let me show you the this kind of legal setup piece. Depending on the state you're in, you will get some real specific guidance on what. Oh, I didn't know that Word was going to take so long to launch. What kind of um, steps you have to take to set up a business in that state. Something else that I wanted to show you here is thinking through, like, what kind of business are you going to set up. So we've gone through some of that kind of ideation as well. And then through every department, think of it as a department or section of your business, or like, let's just look at them: banking and finance, budgeting and planning, CRM and customer data, project and task management. Like, what are the ways to deal with setting up this part of your business? What are the tools? We don't only talk about BuildRunKit tools, but we certainly feature them where it makes sense. And just a look into compliance and risks, strategy and planning, and some of the other things that you want to think about. We don't pretend to think of everything, but we want you to have had a broad view of what your business is going to do for what kind of circumstance or work structure. And then finally, we help guide you through the process of setting up your go to market plan. And that's making sure that you have kind of a tight product positioning and messaging, that you've got those ideal customer profiles that we talked about earlier. What are you going to do before launch? What are you going to do at launch? And what's your post launch plan to grow? And then how are you going to measure and make it better along the way? And then finally, you can export those results, and that's just a package for you to refer to about all the things that you told us and that you went through as a part of this process. And then that journey is going to stay out here. So you see, I have a couple here in our training and demo workspace, and yeah, so you can come back and do this again, or continue, or tweak it and generate your output again. Just because I mentioned the brand, I do want to go in here and just show you that really quick. I didn't. Oh, I do have a, a logo. Okay. So this is not an enterprise ready kind of, I'm gonna put an ad in Vogue magazine and they ask me for my brand kit. This isn't to that level, but it's to the level of with the Goldilocks theory in mind. So like kind of a just right level of complexity, the main things um, that our entrepreneurs need to start their business. So I hope that helps, and I hope this motivates some founders and aspiring founders to get the help they need and to subscribe to the Build Run Kit. As always, please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow our audience. And if you're seeing this before March 31st of 2026, keep an eye out. We'll be putting out another video soon going into detail about how to sign up for our launch event. We're doing a live event and it's virtual, so hopefully you'll be able to join us. And we'll see you at the next one.